Hello friends, I wanted to give you some spring detox tips. These are my top 3 spring detox tips because detox is such a hot word for spring and there's a lot of misnomers out there about what it is and how you can do it, safe ways to detox, unsafe ways to detox. So if we are meeting for the very first time, my name is Erin Oberlander. I am a certified holistic aromatherapist and herbalist, and my goal is to help to empower you with information that you need to be able to live a holistic lifestyle with ease, taking away all of the confusion and giving you over 15 years of study and information and trial and error that I've done in my life, things that have helped me tremendously to get back to the core of who I am in my intuition and to show up in my life the way that I want to. So that's what I want to help you to do as well. So today I wanted to give you my top 3 detox tips for spring. And these are going to be coming from the perspective of Ayurveda, which is ancient Indian medicine, as well as from the perspective of traditional Chinese medicine, and from my perspective as an aromatherapist, some things that can be really helpful. So when we think of detox, a lot of people, they are not really sure what that means. And a lot of people will go to their health food store or whatever and find just anything that has the word detox on it and think that they're doing their body some good. And while there are many good products out there, one thing that I often find with people is that they go really hardcore, whole hog into detox without fully understanding what they're detoxing or why. For instance, they might be doing a digestive detox without really understanding that that needs to be monitored carefully and that it can actually be really hard on the body. So I wanted to give you some milder, more gentle ways to detox that are very easy to do, that are very much connected and in harmony with the cycles of nature. And if this is something that you are interested in learning more about, I want to encourage you, even as soon as this video is over, after you like and subscribe, to go over to intuitiveseason.com and learn all about the Intuitive and Seasonal Living Academy, which is an academy that we have put together, my collaborator and I, Corey, to provide you with information that you need to start living in sync with yourself and your intuition, as well as with nature and the things that nature has given us to leverage in each season. And why would we do that? Because it's time to take back our power when it comes to our health and wellness, and to start learning these things that have been around for thousands of years that people have always known have been helpful, that we've just gotten out of touch with in the last couple of hundred years, that can really improve our health, our quality of life, our leverage toward better wellness, and all of those types of things that we're all looking for. So my top number 1 tip for you, it's so easy to do. It's combining dry brushing with some kind of sauna. So dry brushing is a very ancient technique, and you can buy dry brushes pretty much at any health food store, grocery store, on Amazon, wherever you want to. These are very light bristled brushes, and what we're doing with the brushes in the dry brush is that we're very gently touching the skin, almost like butterfly kisses sort of pressure, and we're moving the lymphatic fluid. So after winter, our lymph, which, in winter we're not as active as we normally are the rest of the seasons, our lymphatic system, which does not have its own pump like our heart does, needs to be moved manually, and we're doing less manual movement in the winter. So oftentimes our lymphatic system becomes congested, and when our lymphatic system becomes congested, that means that toxin removal that the body naturally does is not working as optimally as it could. So dry brushing first, and I actually like to give a bonus tip for this. If you have juniper essential oil or hydrosol, and you can find this on my website, prairiearomatherapy.com. This is a fantastic essential oil for dealing with excess water element, which we often have coming out of winter going into spring. So what you could do is you could actually spray the dry brush, or even just your face like this, with the juniper, and the juniper is going to tell your body, okay, we're going to release some of that excess inflammation, we're going to release some of that excess water retention, we're going to get the lymphatic system moving again to help with immunity, and that is going to really help with just the body's natural detoxification processes. There's all kinds of things that you can find online about how to dry brush, so I'm not going to go into that here, but here's a sequence that I like to use. So this is my top number 1. So you're going to spray the juniper, then you're going to dry brush your body, and then you're going to go into an infrared sauna, primarily is what I recommend. to detoxify the skin by getting a really good sweat on for at least 20 minutes and just allowing the body to flush some toxins out of those upper layers of the body. So that's my number one tip for you. My number two tip is something that's so easy to do and we don't realize how powerful it is. And that is simply to go outside. There is so much research coming out right now about the benefits of being in touch with the elements of nature on a more close basis, on a day-to-day basis, even when we're working out, but as much as possible as we can to, in the spring, go outside. And it's what our bodies are naturally wanting to do anyway. It's finally nice outside, we can go outside. When you go outside, I want you to become aware of some things. I want you to become aware of wood elements. This is bringing in some traditional Chinese medicine for you. Our element in spring is the wood element. And what do we see happening? We see trees starting to bud. We see flowers pushing forth from the ground. And we want to really take in the smells and the sights of those things happening. And that actually does recircuit our brain out of anxiety, out of fight or flight, into a more calm state in our nervous system. And when our nervous system is calm, everything in the body works better. Bonus point on this one is if you can get in direct contact with your skin to the ground, you will actually further enhance your body's own natural processes by even further calming down your nervous system. You can look into earthing, and there's all kinds of interesting information out there about earthing. It's 100% free to go outside, breathe the air, observe the elements, touch the ground, and just take note of how your body starts to feel. When our body comes out of fight or flight mode and actually gets into rest and digest, this is when we are most primed to be able to most naturally detoxify without having to do anything super extra. Okay, so that's my number two tip, is to go outside. Number three tip is to do a gentle cellular cleanse. And I actually like to, my bonus tip on this is to prime the cellular cleanse by first doing some bitter greens. So if you go outside right now and if you garden or if you forage or, even if you have a lawn, you'll notice that one of the very first things that starts to come out of the ground in the spring are things that the body actually uses to detoxify. So something like a dandelion, something like asparagus, something like burdock, which a lot of people just consider a weed. There's lots of other things. Nettle is going to be another one that is one of the very first things that comes out of the ground in the spring. These substances have now been found to be supportive to the liver, to be supportive to the lymphatic system, to be supportive to every detoxification process that the body naturally goes through. And it's so interesting how nature is providing us what our bodies most need at the time that we're most needing it, which is coming out of winter, going into spring, and needing to detoxify. So all of these bitter greens that you can forage, and don't forage from a lawn that's sprayed. Go somewhere where you can get these things where they're not sprayed by any chemicals. Throwing some of these things like some dandelions into your salad or doing some nettle tea and just kind of priming your body for a few days to go into detoxification mode by gently getting it there. And then the type of detoxification that I recommend is a cellular detoxification, not one that's focusing on any specific organ, because the whole body really needs to be detoxified, and we do need to support it. The ancients have known this since the beginning of time, and that's why it's very common in the Ayurveda tradition to do some kind of a fast going into spring. So do you have to fast all out? No, I actually prefer to support the body with some really targeted botanicals, antioxidant-rich botanicals, as well as herbs that not only help to open up the body's natural detoxification pathways further, but also support natural stress hormone levels and blood sugar levels while we are working on detoxification. So if that is something that is of interest to you, I want to encourage you to go to my Facebook page, Prairie Soap House and Apothecary, and go ahead and like and follow. But then you can schedule a free 15-minute consult with me about the nutritional solutions that I use in my practice, and we can talk more about if this is a good fit for you or not. I do have a spring challenge coming up starting this Sunday and would love to tell you more about that as well. So go ahead and comment below what you learned from this video. Go ahead and like and subscribe. And don't forget to go over to intuitiveseason.com and get yourself enrolled in the Intuitive and Seasonal Living Academy, where you can learn about all kinds of things like I talked about today to prime your health and get yourself leveraged back into a more intuitive relationship with yourself and with nature for your betterment, and so you can show up in your life the way that you really want to be showing up, which is what we're all here to help you do. Have a great day. We'll see you next time.